Sentences handed down to the man who gruesomely raped and murdered 3 Diepsloot toddlers last year, while members of the Diepsloot community who attended the trial applauded spontaneously after Judge Coetzee sentenced Ntokoza Hadebe to life in prison on 3 counts of murder, 6 of rape and a further 15 years in prison on 3 counts of kidnapping. The judge said Hadebe had acted like an animal, possibly even worse, and the punishment meted out to him must indeed fit the crime. Well, Patrick Solomons is the director of child advocacy group Molo Songololo, and he joins us on the line now from Cape Town. Good afternoon, Patrick, and thank you for your time on the PM News Desk.
Hi, good afternoon to you too, and thank you for having me.
Well, a strong signal sent out by the judge today that would-be murderers and rapists will not be tolerated. How critical are these stringent sentences to deterring crimes against children?
Yes, the judge sent a very, very strong message, and that in the judge in that court is not going to tolerate these kinds of crimes against children, and that the judge will use the full extent of the law to sentence if they're found guilty. So we all wonder, of course, what kind of impact will this have? And of course, it will bring some sort of, an end of the road for some of the families, some sort of relief, and for the community, and for all those affected and with this particular trial. But what exactly is the impact of the judicial system when an offender has been sentenced? What kind of impact will that have on that actual community from where the crime has taken place, the family, and in terms of going forward to children in general? And I think those are the kind of bigger questions that we need to begin to ask, and I hear that some sort of initiatives within Diepsloot and elsewhere, they're beginning to ask those kinds of questions. Because what we have seen is that we've got a very high incidence of such kind of horrific crimes being committed against children, rape and murder, and that it happens almost every day. And so we have seen in the past also very, very strong sentences being passed on, but we are not seeing a real reduction in these kinds of crimes. So the courts and the police need to be part of a broad prevention and protection program for children.
All right, government has adopted a zero-tolerance approach toward child abuse and such crimes, but how can we increase vigilance in our own neighborhoods?
I think that's where we need to get all role players to work together. All role players need to ensure that they do have a program to respond to it, and that they need to encourage other role players who might lag behind. And that we need to encourage ordinary men and women to come to the table, to look out for children, to be sensitized around what they can do to protect children better. We need to work with parents more. The structure of families are changing. Most parents are struggling to support their children, are single parents, and there's a lot of pressure on them to get income for their families. So they're often not there to supervise their children. So we need to make sure that the community can step in and provide better supervision for children. The community can step in and send very clear messages that they will not tolerate children being treated badly, to bring harm to children, and that they have a particular kind of measures in place and work with children, particularly older children, to help ensure there's increased safety. Basic things like making sure that the roads are properly lit, that dangers are being removed for children, that fields are properly monitored where children play, corner shops where children go to, for example, that there are proper supervision and all that kind of stuff can help to increase safety of children. Then, of course, also within children's own homes, we need to make sure that people do understand that that is probably the biggest danger for children's own homes. That's where most crimes happen, and that's from where most children are taken. So they've got to make sure that all adults know and understand what are the safety measures and the safety standards for children, and that they can trust people in their homes and stuff like that. And whoever comes and visit, that there are certain protocols on how to deal with children. So there's lots and lots that we can do. I think the most important thing, of course, also is that everybody will have to work together. Child protection should be everybody's business. every day.
Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there. That was Patrick Solomons. He's the director of child advocacy group Molo Songololo on the line there.